In the YouTube space, there are 3 popular mics that you hear recommended in every video about audio ever. And the most recent addition to that list is the DJI microphones. These are wireless lapel microphones that you can attach to your shirt. They're meant for creators. You can use them with a lavalier mic. Then the next one is the Shure SM7b. This guy is the podcast king. You see it in every podcast that there ever has been and probably there ever will be. This microphone is also fantastic for vocals. Then lastly, the mic that you've been hearing this entire introduction, and that is the Sennheiser MKH 416. This is the production do-it-all microphone. It is a shotgun mic that is meant to be out of camera, that is used from small scale to large scale productions. And it's a fantastic sounding mic. They all are. But has anybody ever compared them together? I wasn't able to find a video, and so I figured why not make it on my own and compare each one of these mics and the sound that they give. Each one of these mics has a different use case, but I'm approaching this specifically from a YouTuber, a creator. And I think as a YouTuber, you could use any one of these 3 mics. There are some caveats and some sacrifices that you will make depending on which mic that you choose. And so let's first hear what the sound is like, because that's what we're all interested in, is how different do they sound from one another, or do they sound that different from each other? What I'm gonna do is read an excerpt of Harry Potter for each of the different mics, and then we can compare the sound that way. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Having listened to all of the mics, I absolutely love the Shure SM7b for my voice, but what stops me from using this for the majority of my videos is that I prefer to have the audio outside of the frame. I don't want the audio piece, the microphone, to be something that takes attention away from my viewers. I want the attention to be on what I'm saying and what I'm presenting. And so because of that, I love the Sennheiser MKH 416. I know it is super expensive. There's something I've not talked about. The Sennheiser itself is $1,000. The Shure SM7b is $400. The DJI mic runs for $329 plus tax. And so you have some different price brackets to choose from. Really, the DJI mic and the Shure are similarly priced, but they perform very different functions. Sure, they are microphones, but one of the sacrifices that you make with the Shure is it needs to be in frame. It needs to quite literally be right up at your mouth. Whereas the DJI mic, you can clip it onto your shirt. This entire time you've been hearing me switch back and forth between the Sennheiser, the Shure, the DJI mic. I'm now going to switch over to the just inherent DJI mic, not using the lavalier mic. And so you can see how that sounds edited as well. This is now an edited version of the DJI mic without a lavalier, just the internal mic that it has. And so you can judge for yourself as far as, is that sufficient? The DJI mic is super versatile. It has magnets in it where you can clip it onto the middle of the shirt, where you can see right here, it's just kind of sitting on my shirt. If you're okay with it being there, being in frame, then it sounds like a no-brainer, because the cost is significantly cheaper than the Sennheiser, and it's not in frame like the Shure is going to be. Dovetailing off of this, the DJI mic is rather picky about what lav mics that it works well with. What I mean by this is that I have a Tascam DR10L that I used to use for weddings, and the mic that comes with that is a good, decent mic. So I plugged it into the DJI mic and it sounds awful. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious. The self noise is super high. I had to blast the gain on it. And I was also getting a little bit of interference when listening via headphones. I found another kind of random lavalier mic that I've acquired throughout the years that I don't even know the brand of. Again, interference. I found this final third one, which is instead of a TRS pin, it is a TRRS pin, and plug that into the DJI mic, and it seems to be working okay. I'm gonna link to another video of another YouTuber who has gone through a few different lavalier mics to test out which ones work and which ones aren't gonna work. That to me is a con for the DJI mic. The Rode Wireless Go original that I had, I just plugged in my lavalier mic and I never had any issues at all. So that's something to keep in mind. Definitely check out a YouTube video if you're going to be using the DJI mic along with a lav mic to keep it out of frame. Okay, so we've heard the sound. We've heard some of the miscellaneous notes about the DJI mic and some of the use cases. The Sennheiser being more for production. It's definitely going to be out of camera. The Shure SM7b, you're going to have it in the frame. The DJI mic is a fantastic wireless mic that comes with 2 wireless microphones, so you can mic up 2 people at once. However, it's kind of picky as far as if you're going to be using a lavalier mic with it. Now let's talk about setup. What does it take to be able to get these mics to work? So the DJI mic, you literally plug it into your camera via just the normal microphone input jack. The Shure SM7b, you're going to need some sort of audio interface to take XLR and convert that and be able to plug that into your laptop. The one that I use is right here. It is the Scarlett Solo. It runs $130 plus tax. So you can get it from Guitar Center, you can get it online, but that's an added cost that you're gonna need to buy in order to make this mic work. The Sennheiser MKH 416, I'm running that through a independent audio recorder, the Tascam DR40X. That runs $200. You have to have an XLR input in whatever audio recorder you decide to use. I'm also recording it into its own SD card. And so later on, I'm gonna have to sync up the visuals with the audio in post. Whereas the DJI mic, it's literally baked into the video file in camera, which that is a convenience that you don't get with either the Sennheiser or the Shure. So these are things that you're gonna have to think about. How much work are you willing to go through in order to get the audio that you want? The goal of this video is to provide you with as much information as possible so that you can make an informed decision as far as what mic do you want and what lengths are you gonna have to go to in order to make that work within your setup. And how much money are you willing to spend, or am I gonna have to spend to do that? Personally, for me, I love the Sennheiser 416. I prefer that my mic is out of camera, that it's not taking up any of the frame, and that I get the best audio quality that I possibly can. There's a cost that comes with that, and there are plenty of mics that are way more expensive than this Sennheiser, but these are the big 3 in YouTube land. And so I hope that this has helped you in a decision. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments. My name is David J. Roscoe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.